Game day excitement. Fans from all across Iowa gather in Ames, and they're not the only ones. The political candidates also taking in the action.
And wildfires rage where they're spreading now, and the action being taken by one leader.
Now, the corridor's top stories and your weather first forecast in the first 10 minutes. This is CBS 2 News 10 at 10.
The cheering may be over, but the fun continues tonight after the biggest game all year long in Iowa. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Fans watched all across the state, and more than 60,000 people packed the stands for a sea of black, cardinal, and gold in Ames.
The Iowa Hawkeyes took on the Iowa State Cyclones earlier this afternoon, and it was a close one. The game is now over, and our team is in place, ready to talk about all the fun they've seen so far. So let's go live to Ames, where CBS 2 News anchors Scott Sanborn and Karen Fuller are in the middle of it all, guys.
Hey guys, I got to tell you, it's been so great for Karen and I to have a front row seat not only to the football game, but to the tailgating, and just a day of fun. Fabulous weather, wonderful fans, and terrific football.
There has been so much tailgating going on. Families with little kids, future Hawkeyes and Cyclones, and then of course the students. Future angst have been had, and some grilling and all that kind of thing. But it's been a great tailgating party day. It's now cleaned up, night has fallen, and the Cyclones fans are going home the losers tonight, sadly.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. Except for a day of highlights, and Zach Hanley is here with that. It's been quite a day, hasn't it, Zach?
Yeah, I don't really know what was more fun, the game or the tailgating.
Right.
But we'll take a look at those highlights real quick. Cyhawk Series 2015, Iowa versus Iowa State. And this game lived up to the hype. Tied at 3 in the second quarter, Sam Richardson. It's Quentin Bunridge, 11 yards on the score. ISU led 17-10 at the half. Jump to the third, and the Hawks are flying back under C.J. Beathard. He hits Henry Krieger-Coble. He's rumbling, bumbling, but fumbling. Matt Vandenberg is there to pounce on it in the end zone. Iowa takes the lead, and the Hawks would never look back. This time, it's Beathard to a wide-open Riley McCarron for his first career TD. Iowa takes the Cyhawk Trophy, 31-17 the final. Here's what Captain Kirk had to say after the big win.
We would have to earn this. We knew coming in here it was going to be a very tough environment, a tough football team, a well-coached football team. And, really proud of our guys, the way they hung in there. As we look forward, if we're going to be competitive in November the way we want to be, you've got to find a way to win games like this.
And I'll have more highlights and reaction coming up later in sports.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Zach. I'll tell you what, it was a hard-fought battle. I mean, one team would score and the other team would answer, and that happened all the way up until the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter is where it all changed,
Yeah.
and there was an interception by the Hawkeyes, and after that, they were just rolling along. They were not going to be beaten.
Here's a fun fact for you. This was the 41st win by the Hawkeyes in this long-standing series that started back in 1894. It was Iowa State that won the very first matchup in 1894.
True. They can claim that.
That's right. They had 41 wins to Iowa State's now 22. They played through 1934, and then they took a break, and then, of course, restarted again in 1977, and that's where the Cyhawk Trophy was introduced.
The Cyhawk Trophy, which is now coveted by one of the teams. The victor tonight would be the Hawkeyes, so they will get the trophy. And it's been a rough week for the Hawkeyes. They lost Roy Marble Sr., they lost Tyler Sash. So they came onto the field, Scott, I think you would agree, with a little more emotional investment than maybe an average game.
Absolutely. I think it added to the intensity of this game. And when you heard the fans, I mean, this stadium behind us rocked with emotion.
Yes.
There was a loud crowd here today, and everybody was into the game right up until the very end when the Cyclone fans started to file out.
That's right. They did file out pretty quickly once that score was finished, but there were also Hawkeye fans here as well. So kudos to the people who came all the way over to Ames tonight for the game from the Hawkeye country. In the meantime, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio. Matt and Joy?
All right, sounds good, Karen and Scott. Thank you. And you notice they have their jackets on? That's not just for show. It's actually chilly.
Getting to that point, absolutely. Started the game with T-shirts on. By the end, it was all jackets as people went home for the day. Let's check in right now with meteorologist Jennifer Hildreth, see what we can expect for tomorrow. Jen?
Yeah, it was a chilly start this morning. Warmed things up nicely thanks to that sunshine. Kickoff time for that Iowa State game was around 68 at that time, but now we're seeing temperatures going down. We have clear skies across the area, so you can see the moon and stars out there, and will stay mostly clear tonight. But that's allowing temperatures to quickly cool off. We're at 46 in Monticello, 49 in Waterloo, 48 in Oline and Charles City, 54 over towards Tama and the Ames area. Winds are very light. Notice all the zeros, but they are going to switch to the southwest and pick back up tomorrow. So it'll be breezy in the afternoon, but with that southwest wind and the sunshine, after a chilly morning, we'll warm things back up into the 60s and 70s. And our warm-up doesn't stop there. We'll talk about when we're going to get back into the 80s and when our next chance for rain is coming up in just a bit.
All right, Jen, thank you. Cedar Rapids police say they have had a big breakthrough in a double homicide they've been working to solve for more than a year. 31-year-old Kendu Petties was arrested with the help of U.S. Marshals in the Phoenix area. Police say he is responsible for the deaths of 2 people in Cedar Rapids. Officers say in April of last year, 22-year-old Quintrell Perkins and 20-year-old Sierra Simmons were both found shot to death at a home on 4th Avenue Southeast. Police called it murder, but didn't make an arrest. That is until Petties was found in Arizona and brought back to the Lynn County Jail last night. Tonight, police say he is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. It's not yet clear when his first court appearance will be.
Now a CBS 2 News update. Dubuque police just made an arrest in a stabbing. 26-year-old Tommy Price Jr. is in jail tonight. Investigators say he stabbed a man last night at Kennedy Mall. Police received that call about 8:15. They found a 22-year-old victim bleeding from a stab wound. He is expected to recover. No word yet tonight on the motive for that stabbing.
Back in Ames, Hawkeye and Cyclone fans weren't the only ones getting in on the game day action today.
Politicians also in town. They hit the tailgate parties to try to score some points with the voters. CBS 2 News reporter Steffi Lee tried to talk with the candidates and the fans. She joins us live tonight from Ames with the story. Steffi?
Well, Matt and Joy, obviously a lot of loyal Iowa and Iowa State fans just tailgating all day in the parking lot of Jack Trice. But today we also had a chance to learn where people stand politically.
It's not a tailgate without delicious food or the sweet sounds of school fight songs. But when Maria Alcivar tailgates at the 2015 Cyhawk Showdown, it's more than just the fun of staying loyal to your university.
I want them to win, go State. But I'm also here because this is my only opportunity for me to show what I've been advocating in social media.
That opportunity.
And what is, yeah, I agree with you, sir. How are we gonna do that? You tell me.
Was to shut down Team Trump.
We have to get back to conservative. We have to get back to the business principle. We have to get back to good morals and get this country on track.
Her signs say it all.
I know more about this land than my own homeland.
But that anticipation to shut down Team Trump or even cheer him on didn't go quite as planned for the majority of this crowd.
We think we're really privileged, for one, and we really are excited that he's here. We're making an effort, and he's not. It's discouraging for us. We're coming here, and we're trying to educate ourselves on him and his stances, and then he doesn't give us the same respect.
He took off in his car in just minutes after this crowd had waited for hours.
I think it shows his leadership abilities as a president. Like, what does that mean for us?
For this political craze.
Okay.
It's like rooting for your favorite team.
If I'm gonna vote for somebody, if I want to vote for people that have some common sense, then I would like to hear some common sense coming out of those people.
But even though his visit may not have turned out the way many had hoped, still a lot of excitement surrounding Trump, and he even spent time with some football players before the game. Live from Ames, Steffi Lee, CBS 2 News, 10 at 10.
Steffi, thank you. With tens of thousands of voters in the stands, Donald Trump wasn't the only one at Jack Trice Stadium.
Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, and Scott Walker also showed up in Ames. While only Senator Rubio and Governor Walker spoke briefly on stage, we had a chance to catch up with Senator Paul to hear what he thinks will set him apart from the other candidates who showed up today.
I'm the only Republican candidate who has really consistently and loudly been opposed to the president's plan to collect all of your phone records.
A recent Quinnipiac poll shows Donald Trump and Ben Carson leading the Republican field for the presidential nomination. Ted Cruz is in third place.
Fans all over the state gathering for game day at their favorite bars and restaurants. This was a scene this afternoon at Mulligan's Pub in Cedar Rapids. Fans showed up early for food and drinks and settled in for the kickoff. They say this is always one game they don't want to watch at home.
I'm here to watch the game because it's a great place to hang out with friends and enjoy the camaraderie and just a great time to enjoy the rivalry too.
Mulligan's and several other places in the court are pretty packed for the close contest between the Cyclones and the Hawks.
Next on 10 at 10, the race to the top. Why all these people were out for a run today on Cedar Rapids' biggest pile of trash.
And a cool fall day today, but that nice weather is going to continue as we head back to work. But then the heat is on. We'll talk about when that warm-up is and when the next chance to rain. Coming up next on the CBS News 10 at 10.
A lot of people were hanging out on Mount Trashmore today. It was a way to combat epilepsy and get some exercise. The money raised goes to support education and support for the Epilepsy Iowa Foundation. People got together at the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library bright and early to take part in a run and walk to the very top. It's a long way up, but they say it was worth it.
Ever been up there before?
No, but
I was 2 weeks ago. It's the best view in town. If they could build condos up there, it'd be great. I don't think that's going to happen, but if they could.
Love the pictures on his Facebook page. Check them out. But not a bad day for a walk or run or really anything outside, but it did start out a little cooler.
It absolutely did. Meteorologist Jennifer Hildreth here now with the latest in your first forecast. Jen?
Yeah, it was a chilly start to the morning. I know I slept with the windows open last night and it was a little cold in the house as temperatures this morning were down into the lower to mid 40s. But after the sunshine, we did warm up quickly and we got our highs this afternoon in the mid to upper 60s. But it's going to be another cool night tonight, and it's all thanks to some clear skies. We didn't really have many clouds this afternoon, and we'll keep those clear skies around for the rest of the night tonight. And you can see temperatures already falling into the mid 40s here in Monticello, upper 40s in Dubuque, Olwine up towards Charles City and Waterloo, still 51 though in Cedar Rapids. Winds are also very light. They were from the northwest today, now starting to switch to the southwest, and they'll pick up again tomorrow from the southwest, which will actually start to warm us up a few more degrees. We're going to tack on about 5-6 degrees from our afternoon highs today, so getting back in those lower 70s. Now we have clear skies, quiet conditions across the Midwest. You got to go out here to the East Coast and the Ohio area to find any clouds or rain, and that is pushing away from us. But all this clear sky and sunshine is coming thanks to this big area of high pressure sitting across northern Missouri, and it's going to keep us clear tonight with those calm winds, and that's going to lead to some cool temperatures, but also some patchy light fog here by tomorrow morning, mainly in those river valleys, but it's not going to expect to be dense or cause travel problems. And as that sun rises about 6:45 tomorrow morning, the fog will quickly disappear, and as we head through the afternoon, we stay mostly sunny, but as this high continues to slide off to our southeast, you'll notice the southwest wind pick up about 10 to 15 miles per hour in the afternoon, giving us a nice breeze, but it's also going to bring in the warmer air. So highs tomorrow, upper 60s to lower 70s, but still very comfortable as far as that humidity. Now, thanks to the south winds tomorrow night, they won't be very strong, but it'll be just enough to keep our temperatures from really plummeting because we'll have those clear skies once again, and it will keep the fog chances away. But lows tomorrow in the lower 50s. And then for Monday, mostly sunny skies. We'll see a breezy south wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour, warm us up a few more degrees and getting back in the upper 70s, and then we'll finally reach the 80s here again by Tuesday. But mostly clear skies tonight. It will be another chilly one with patchy fog forming towards morning. Temperatures dropping back down into the lower to mid 40s, very similar to what we saw this morning. So if you're heading out early for maybe some morning coffee, a walk, or out to church, just know you might want the jacket with you. By afternoon, though, you can get rid of it. It'll be mostly sunny. A southwest breeze warms us back in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Low humidity, so another very pleasant fall-like day out there. And then our temperatures continue. We'll see that south breeze here Monday, 10 to 20 miles per hour. It continues on Tuesday, and despite a few more clouds, we'll get back in the lower 80s, and we'll stay in the lower 80s here for the middle of the work week until a cold front comes through here. It looks like Wednesday night through Friday morning, bringing us showers and storms and cooling us back down into the lower to mid 70s here for next weekend's college football game. So kind of going up, a little taste of summer still in there, but nothing as terrible as what we saw earlier this week with those 90s out there.
Oof. I think it's just perfect. It just sort of does the nice mild weather and then football weather.
Slide right in.
Good timing.
Exactly.
Well done.
Thanks.
Jen. Still ahead tonight in sports, showdown at Trice. The Hawkeyes take on the Cyclones, and the question of who would win the biggest turf war of the year has now been answered. We take it live to Ames when we come back.
Now from the BillionAuto.com Sports Desk, here's your CBS2 Sports Update.
And welcome to Jack Trice Stadium, host of the 2015 Cy-Hawk game. It's Iowa, it's Iowa State. Do I even have to say more? Both teams came into the game undefeated. Only one would leave undefeated. Let's get straight to the highlights. And this game lived up to the hype. Tied at 3 in the second quarter, and it's the Cyclones finding the end zone first. Sam Richardson. It's Quentin Bunridge. ISU goes up 10-7. The Hawks soar right back. C.J. Beathard with the dime to Tavon Smith, and look at his toe tap. In the back of the end zone, game tied at 10. But not even 3 minutes later, the Cyclones strike. Richardson puts it on a rope, but check out the catch by Jawan Wesley. The one-handed grab gives the Cyclones the lead. They led at the break, 17-10, same score in the third. Beathard hits Henry Krieger-Coble. He's rumbling, bumbling, but fumbling. Matt Vandenberg is there to pounce for the score. Hawks tie the game up at 17, and then in the fourth, it's sunshine again. This time to Riley McCarron. That's his first career touchdown. Beathard was 15 for 25 for 215 yards. He threw for 3 TDs and also rushed for 77 big yards. Iowa takes the trophy back to Iowa City. 31-17 the final. Pat Maroney was there for the Hawks' big win and has more on Iowa.
Total team effort. That's what it took for the Hawkeyes on Saturday.
Early on, it was kind of rough for us. The defense wasn't doing very well, and neither was the offense. But second half, the defense played lights out.
The Iowa defense gave up just 66 Cyclone yards in the second half. So what changed?
I think just our coaching and just like different schemes and our front line, coming off the ball and getting off blocks.
That first half, that ball's going up and down. I don't know what the stats were, but it seemed one-sided. But the second half, we played really good defense, took away the run, and made them a little bit left-handed, which helps out a little bit too.
And then in the fourth, it was winning time. After a go-ahead touchdown by the offense, the defense sealed the deal.
That was great. That was a good break on the ball by Desmond. He's a playmaker, so it was great.
That's what we're here to do. Defense wins championships, and for us to win a championship, we need to make turnovers.
And it was just what these Hawkeyes needed.
The guys kept playing, and that's football, and that's every coach in the world says it. It's a 60-minute game. You can't worry about what's going on. You got to worry about the next play and keep playing. And it's a testament, and tribute to our kids. They hung in there. They kept battling and. Experienced some adversity, certainly. Desmond experienced a little bit and came up with a huge play.
Thanks, Pat. Now, the Cy-Hawk game wasn't the only big game today. The Panthers and UNI had a home opener against 7th-ranked Eastern Washington. The Panthers are ranked 14th in the FCS. Both teams looking for their first win of the season, and the Panthers are ready. Let's take the highlights. Eastern Washington was up 7-0, but not for long. Tyvis Smith barrels in for the 1-yard TD. Game tied at 7. UNI led 21-14 at the half. Eastern Washington took a 28-21 lead in the fourth, but the Panthers woke up. Sawyer Colmorgan hits Logan Cunningham to tie the game at 28. After a Panther field goal, DeAndre Hall provided the dagger. Now the dude had a broken bone in his hand, still played. The pick six seals it as UNI gets a 38-35 win. Now, a lot of big numbers put up by the Panthers today, but the stats aren't the only story. Mia O'Brien was there for the big win and has more in Cedar Falls.
On paper, UNI was dominant. 460 yards of offense. Held the heralded Eastern Washington offense to 26 yards on the ground.
We could really stop the run, make them truly one-dimensional. That would help us out.
But what the box score doesn't tell you is how several Panthers who played key roles today overcame injuries and adversity to turn in one of the gutsiest performances Coach Farley has ever seen at the UNI Dome.
You watch D. Hall, and he broke that finger and then came back and with the cast down. And Logan, before he scored his touchdown, he was hurt bad enough that he probably shouldn't have came back in the game. We're playing with a lot of other guys that maybe we didn't have planned going in, but they all performed.
Including senior quarterback Sawyer Cole-Morgan, who was called off the bench in the fourth quarter and delivered.
That's what we needed. Go out there, give our team some momentum, get us back in the game.
Sawyer, who had to sit and watch for 2 weeks now, and when he did get his opportunity today, he was ready for it.
And it's that mindset of seizing the opportunity that has Farley feeling good going forward.
This is one of the biggest wins for a UNI football team, not because of who we beat, but more so because of how we had to beat them, and our back was against the wall, and that's why this was such a big win for this program, and as big as any I've been in.
In Cedar Falls, Mia O'Brien, Fox 28 Sports.
Thanks, Mia. How about some Iowa Conference scores? The oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi goes to Co. The Cohawks put up 50 on the Rams. 50-3 was the final. Wartburg stayed unbeaten. They beat Bethel 24-14. Dubuque fell to Wisconsin-Platteville. Lawrence beat Wisconsin Stout, and Luther beat St. Olaf. Game 1 of the Western Division Championship Series, and the Colonels beat the Chiefs 3-2 was the final. The Men of Corn play tomorrow at the Popper for the sweep. First pitch is at 4 o'clock. And that's a wrap in sports live outside Jack Trice Stadium. We'll be right back after the break.
Don't know if you heard about it. There was a big football game this afternoon between Iowa. It was today between Iowa and Iowa State. Well, it did wrap up a few hours ago, but the fun is far from over.
Absolutely. CBS 2 News anchor Scott Sanborn and Karen Fuller join us live tonight from Ames with all the latest. Hi, guys.
Well, hi, Matt and Joy, and Karen, there's only a few bites left of the tailgating party here, so...
Thank you. It's all ours now.
Yeah, we get to finish it up, and it's almost frozen. It's pretty chilly out here tonight.
It's cold. We had to put our jackets on for sure. Everybody else has gone home. Fans are gone. The cleaning crew's gone. All that's left is the folks from Fox 28. So this is for all of us.
Yeah, and we want to thank everybody who came by to say hi and made us feel so welcome here. We'd like to thank the city of Ames, and especially all the Cyclone fans and everybody at Iowa State University for throwing one heck of a party here today.
Yes, and congratulations to the Cyclones for playing a good game that kept it close until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And above all, congratulations to the University of Iowa Hawkeyes for winning the Cy-Hawk Trophy in 2015.
Their 41st win in this series, dating all the way back to 1894. So congratulations to the Hawkeye. We're going to see you back there in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City in the corridor. It's been a great day here in Ames, so thanks for joining us. Thank you for watching the game and just being a part of the party. Matt
See you
and Joy?
guys, Matt and Joy.
We're kind of jealous. I'm hoping they're going to bring us some leftovers.
Maybe. It looked like they were pretty cleaned out, though.
But it's chilly there, so they should make it all the way back here in the car.
Oh yeah, you just put your food outside instead of the refrigerator tonight because we're dropping back down into the lower 40s tomorrow. Lower 70s with a southwest wind, and then it turns breezy here from the south, which warms us up back to the lower 80s here by the middle of next week. And then some showers and storms come in for the end of the week, cooling us back down just in time for more of those college football games next weekend. So definitely kind of ups and downs here of fall.
And our Friday nights. All right, Jen, thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching this special edition of CBS 2 News 10 at 10.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.